Welcome.
Bruce.
Deuces. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody to Thank Ganja. It's Friday with the illustrious, illuminated, well-educated, the non-intimidating, unless you're a Republican, right? Laura Malcolm, my co-host. How are you doing, my dear?
I am fine, but yeah, it's been one of those days where I thought I would have all the time in the world to get prepared for everything, but yeah, like you, been sort of running off my feet.
It never works.
Just ran in the door.
It absolutely never works. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this whole screen over here. Laura, you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. But to the people out there watching, you just saw me do that. So, wait a minute. Let's get the music out of here. Now, we got a lot to talk today. We got a lot to talk about today, people. I'm talking like a lot. And as if that's not the normal. As if that's not the norm. I just wanted to say, before anything else, thank you so much for making last week's live an amazing showcase, and for showing up everybody who did. Thanks LMTV2. Thanks everybody who came off just the strength of Laura. And Laura, you didn't know I was gonna do this, but it's time I gave you your flowers.
Aww.
Your flowers before we start. So to those 400 or so people who were a part of this channel before we started doing this, you don't know who Laura is, but I want you to know that the channel wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. She came from my Karen channel and said, she liked the comedy. Now all of a sudden she's the funny one and I'm the serious one. But everything that you've seen on this channel for the past 6 months has been simply because of the sheer will, dedication, and outstanding support that Laura Malcolm has given. And I thought that you guys should know this doesn't exist without her. It means the world to me, Laura, and you deserve your flowers. And I haven't given them to you in front of people yet. Today, thank you for being a part of this channel, for making this channel what it is. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm very humbled by that.
Yeah, you got to do it by surprise.
People who know me best do know about my sheer force of will. I'm relentless sometimes, but usually always for a good cause.
I love it. I love it. All right, so this is what we're going to do. Move that camera a little bit to your right. There we go. Bam. You're in there. Now, that's a beautiful backdrop. See, I'm so regular. I need more colors. That's what I need. Yes, the honeysuckle is there.
Honeysuckle.
All right, so today, guys, we're running down a lot. There's a few things that we can't talk about. Be prepared for the shorts that go out over the weekend. Laura Malcolm does these awesome little funny shorts, and I believe, what are these shorts about this weekend? The horrible women's list, you called it?
Worst of the women of the week. And happy birthday, Melania special.
Roseanne Barr, I think, is going to be in there. Jenny Thomas is going to be in there. You guys. Oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, well, you might have more on Jenny, but I think we're going to cover her today, too. So you guys look out for that. Look out for that. But today, what do we have in our what's his name says our Dunning-Kruger specimens of the day? Laura, what do we got going on?
I had a train just pass by me and I didn't catch what now?
Oh, I said like Keith Olbermann says, who are today's Dunning-Kruger specimens? The Dunning-Kruger effect specimen.
Oh yes, the ones who always come back for more, no matter how hard they've tried. They keep coming back for more. They keep pulling back in.
Every time I'm out.
juice.
They pulled me back
Why?
in.
That asshole just sucks them right back in. It doesn't, it only expels the farts and then sucks back in the specimens. What? Tell me about the latest FU Barr, FFU.
Oh my God. Yes, people, as she said, only the farts escape, but the sphincter keeps pulling them back in. Listen, Bill Barr, if you don't know the story, guys, Bill Barr has been one of the most ardent detractors of another Trump presidency. How it's going to destroy the democracy. It's going to be a bad thing for Americans everywhere. He's a liar. During the January 6th hearings, he came out with no uncertain terms saying that he knows this guy planned the riots and it was ridiculous. He's ridiculous. He's not serious. But just in case you thought that that meant there was an inkling of decency inside of one of these dark holes called Republican politicians, these eclipse of decency, right? The black hole that is the party leadership. Listen to what your boy says, and then he gets his comeuppance. Don't forget that. But listen to what this guy says. We're going to play a little video for you. Bill Barr, Attorney General at large.
Barr is right.
Yes. And I'm a fat boy too, but yes, that was a fat joke. All right. Hold on. Here we go. Bill Barr.
Was New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu and Florida Senator Marco Rubio crowing about Donald Trump after spending quite a while criticizing him. Just a year ago, Governor Sununu wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post slamming Trump for peddling the conspiracy theory that he won the 2020 election and repelling independents. Senator Rubio, meanwhile, called Trump a con man and a fake tough guy. Rubio and Sununu are not alone, and they aren't even among the most egregious in their sudden change of heart. For that, you'd have to look towards former Attorney General Bill Barr. The same Bill Barr who said that Trump's actions on January 6th amounted to a grave wrongdoing. The same Bill Barr who called Trump a consummate narcissist. The same Bill Barr who predicted abuse of power if Trump were to be elected again. That Bill Barr has now endorsed Donald Trump.
Yes, people.
I will vote the Republican ticket. I will support the Republican ticket. I think the real danger to the country, the real danger to democracy, as I said, is the progressive agenda. And
the real danger is the progressive agenda. Not the riots on the Capitol. Not the millions time indicted orange monster guaranteed to be a dictator on day one by his own words. Not the people subverting democracy. The real danger is the progressive agenda. I have something to say about that. But before we do that, there's nobody who can say it better than Donald Trump himself. This guy just genuflected in strong terms for the person who he knows is a detriment to the country, who he said is a detriment to the country, but is still going to vote for him. I'm going to tell you why in just a second, people, and we'll move on. But there's nothing like, I'm just going to type it in here. I don't know why. Let me see if I don't know why I lost my link. Hopefully I didn't. Yeah. All right. Well, look, I'm going to tell you what Donald Trump had to say as he mocks this guy mercilessly. You thought that he would say, you know what? Thanks, Bill, for what you've done. I appreciate it. But no, we're talking about somebody with the moral compass of a snake. Let's see. Trump.
Hey, don't insult snakes.
sorry. I'm sorry. Well, I'll tell you what. He's a predator. That's all it is. See, the snakes are who they are. They're what they're supposed to be. Humans, on the other hand, are not supposed to have the moral likeness of a snake or a shark.
Even a snake will only eat what it needs. It doesn't take everybody else's mice or whatever.
Well said. Well said. Well, look, what does he get for all of his troubles? For genuflecting in the face of the orange sacrifice. Let's see what our friend Mr. Trump has to say in return. Absolutely hilarious. Come on. Come on. It's not that hard. It's not that hard, buddy. Give him the whistle, Laura.
I will vote the Republican ticket. I will support the Republican ticket.
There we
I think
go.
the real
All
danger
right.
to the country, the real danger to democracy, as I say, is the progressive agenda.
After tucking tail and confirming that he will, in fact, back Donald Trump as the nominee for the Republican Party, former Attorney General Bill Barr got some brutal mockery in return as his reward from Donald Trump himself. This is amazing. So let's go to his Truth Social post where he writes, wow. Former AG Bill Barr, who let a lot of great people down by not investigating voter fraud in our country, has just endorsed me for president, despite the fact that I called him weak, slow-moving, lethargic, gutless, and lazy. And then he has New York Post in parentheses. I'm unsure as to why that is, but he continues, based on the fact that I greatly appreciate his wholehearted endorsement, I am removing the word lethargic from this.
Based on the fact I called him weak, gutless, lazy, slow-moving, lethargic. Thanks to him doing this, I'll remove the word lethargic. People, in a rare moment on Political Drain, I agree wholeheartedly with Donald Trump. Bill Barr is not lethargic. What he is he, as Trump says, he's only removing the word lethargic, but he's leaving gutless. That's true. He's leaving lazy. Yeah, that decision is lazy. I would call it that. He's calling him slow moving. Well, it took him long enough to bend over backwards for Trump while acting like he was standing up straight or he was a top. No. And weak, well, that goes without saying. Not that all bottoms are weak, but you know what I mean. Listen, people. And we don't mean top and bottom in the sexuality in homosexuality. We mean it in the BDSM sexuality. For some reason, people like Bill Barr, people like Mr. Cruz of Texas, people like to get spanked by Trump. People love to put on the leather gag mask and put their hands in the air to be handcuffed while he softly maneuvers their back with a leather strap. That's what they enjoy. The only reason why they enjoy it, people, is very simple. It's not hard to understand. The main reason why they do it is because they all know, just like all of the people who voted for Trump after seeing what he was and denying to themselves what he is, that they're losing everything. I hear all the time, and the white rural population or the evangelical population, I hear things like, we're losing our country. Yeah, you are. That's what you don't like. You want someone to placate your bullshit. No, you're losing it. There's less of you. There's less of you because your power was ill-gotten, it was meaningless, and it was immoral to begin with. So yeah, you're losing your country to better ideas, to younger generations who don't think that they can subjugate other people because of the way they look, and that them being a certain color or a certain religion makes them better, so that's all they have to do. That's what you're scared about. Go ahead.
Real democracy? Real Christianity? Real Christian values? What?
What? What? Who says?
Society for everyone?
And that's the exact deal. And I know the Christians, evangelicalism has taken on a meaning of itself. What I'm trying to tell you people is the craven need for power, the same reason why they're gerrymandering every district, the same reason why people are stopping going to church that's talking about the Bible so that they can go to the church that tells them that they're great, that they can go to a church that tells them that black folks are taking over. Yes, they are. Enjoy. You're losing your country because what you thought was your country was simply a need to stay in power for doing nothing. Bill Barr is gonna go back to this because he realizes that things are changing, and if you're not changing with it, you're gonna lose. The country is changing. The races are changing. Okay, the ideas of being gay is changing. The ideas of trans people is changing, and you're hanging on by a thin membrane that's mucousy and hairy. Also, you can hold on to your little bit of ill-gotten power, and they'll do anything, including wear a strap-on or get it used on them by Trump in order to keep it. That's the only reason, and anybody who tells you different is trying to overthink it. They're lying to you, okay? You're a party of Marjorie Taylor Greens. Yes, we're laughing at you. Yes, you're stupid. Yes, you are stupid. Grow up. Realize books matter. Don't ban books, read books. That's why they're all doing it. That's why Cruz does it, because they have nothing to offer. They're losing everything, and they're lashing out. And Donald Trump is the final lash, is the final response of people who have nothing that are trying to keep hold of everything. Either it's a dictatorship or they're dead. That's why. Yes, Mr. Guy in the big truck with the American flag behind you. Yes, the black guy standing next to you, his dick is bigger than yours. Does that bother you? Grow up. Yeah, those were two men kissing. Grow up. Huh? Until you do that, you only have one choice. It's dictatorship. They are losing everything. And they want someone to tell them, you're not losing everything. You're just being weird and irrational. Republicans are being very rational. They realize their views, they haven't won an actual election, they haven't won a popular vote in 20 years. And somehow still maintain a majority in many states. How do you think that happens? They're dying for a dictatorship because that's all they have left. That's the reason. Anybody tells you different, send them back to this channel. And I just wanted to say that. That's why Bill Barr is genuflecting, and that's why Trump is correct. He's a fraud.
Well, you spent a good while there getting nice paychecks from all the mainstream media on his self-rehabilitation tour, and I always said, he ain't rehabilitated. He's still the same.
You're 100% correct.
Crud.
You know what I thought? I thought that it was just the normal Republican thing. Like, well, this side looks like it's sinking. Let me go ahead and jump on the other side so I can...
The fence hopping to the greener grasses, like, yeah. Yeah.
But wow. Gutless is good. Donald J. Trump, I agree with him. MAGA 2024.
Hey, edit that out.
I'm sorry. Did I say? I meant Rikers 2024.
There you go. There
What we got next?
Oh, hey, you want to talk about the Supreme Court or?
Tell me.
Well,
What you got?
It's the same old delay.
Excuse me.
They want to push this decision off. Here, taking the case and entertaining it is delay, and all in his favor. Of course, we all know that. And these ridiculous circular arguments and hypotheticals, and which one of the justices says, hey, I don't want to talk about that particular case. I only want to talk about the hypotheticals. I think that was Roberts, about what if, he was to send in a SEAL Team 6 or,
Yeah. And that's so crazy because the answers that you got were, well, if he wanted to kill his opponent, I mean, just depending on what it is, I mean, that could be okay. It could be okay. Could you ever imagine hearing that? And I'm no wonder they won't let cameras.
Never mind the what ifs. They won't look at the what was, what is.
Yes. They still have yet to talk about what actually happened.
Yeah, refusing to actually address the case. And let's see, it says here.
I got some video here. Might have to search through it.
Sure.
Here you go. Here, I'll do this for you.
Oh yeah, that a coup would be okay, depending on the circumstances.
Listen,
is in the Constitution unless this court creates it today.
The conservatives expressing concern that future presidents have no immunity for actions taken while in the White House. That could open the door to recriminations between political rivals.
Will that not lead us into...
And listen to how this stinky garbage can network is describing. The conservatives are wondering what happens if you don't have immunity? Won't that open the door? What door? The country's over 200 years old and they've never had immunity. When did the door open?
And at the impeachment hearing, Trump's own lawyer, a defense lawyer at the impeachment, said that the text of the Constitution makes it very clear that they can be prosecuted for any criminal act after out of office. So
simple. Absolutely simple.
What are we arguing here? There's nothing to argue. The founders didn't maybe put it in the exact words, but it's not like they didn't just come out of they just fought a war for independence from a king. Like, why would they grant complete immunity to a president?
I used to, when I was a kid, that word was used a lot, activist judges. I really didn't know what it meant. I heard going around, my parents would watch the news, activist judges. Now I know. When you actually put your mouth to a microphone in a courtroom, in the highest court of the land, and say, well, maybe you can kill your opponent. Let's talk about it. At least we should discover if that's okay. Another American. Can he be killed? I'll tell you what. What about these other hypotheticals? Well, what about staging a coup? Well, maybe. The minute that becomes something you can argue, you've lost all good faith. This should never have come here, but yeah. Wow. And guess what? Trump already won, because there's absolutely no way that these people with these lies, I mean, and this miscarriage of justice that's already happened by it even coming here is going to end anytime soon. They're going to congratulate themselves and use as big words as possible to say the most amount of nothing. Meanwhile, it's going to be election time before Trump goes to trial for stealing documents and most likely selling them to our enemies. Nuclear secrets, giving them away. So he's already won no matter what happens. Immunity or not. Because it's already going to be after election by the time this gets back to the place where it can actually do anything. Thanks a lot, Supreme Court. Thanks a lot.
Well,
anyway.
The New York stuff is still chugging along. There were no real bombshells today. It was the defense cross-exam, and I think there was a redirect or partial redirect, but they had the the longtime office assistant, Rona Graff. She was a key witness in tying all the texts and communications and logs and stuff together. Proving that, Karen and Stormy were around, and and Pecker spilled some more.
Yes. Now that's
so many
what
Pecker
kind of
jokes, so little time.
Before you continue, can I just mention, yes, people, we are talking about the sexual scandal between a porn star, a orange dildo, and his pecker. Yes, that's
Pecker's
what
letting
we're
him
talking
down.
about. And his pecker. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
So yeah, so many Pecker jokes. I couldn't keep up with them all, but yeah, apparently, so this whole repayment scheme, Pecker was getting nervous because he was getting flagged for, all these extraordinarily high payments, and so he didn't want to get caught up with the campaign finance people who were already kind of looking at him sideways. So, and they had a new legal advisor in, and even the legal advisor didn't know all the facts, but somehow it got kicked back to Cohen and his former banker, Farrow, who was known for handling the difficult difficult customers or whatever, difficult people.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we went through him to set up the LLC and the fake this and that in order to make the payment and fudge the books and all that. But oh no, it's just bookkeeping, man. That's just bookkeeping.
Yeah. Come on, man. And you know what? I think we've done a great disservice. A lot of people have said this isn't new. Calling it the hush money case is a great disservice because it's nothing to do with. Yeah. It's not hush money case. It's illegal, illegal payments of funds, illegal fundraising, and illegal use of funds, to what do you call it? To interrupt an election, all right?
Yeah.
A campaign. Yeah. So that's a lot bigger than the hush money case, and we've kind of lost sight of what he did. Now that Pecker's on the stand, he brings it right back into focus. This guy was paid a lot of money to change. We don't know, if it could have changed a lot or a little. I mean, let's be honest. I just laid out to you guys before why he was elected. It has nothing to do with evangelicals or Christians or non-Christians. It's all bullshit. It's all a lie. It's all about power and keeping it. That's all they wanted. And so, as they've realized, especially after Barack got in there, that they were losing their country, they probably would have voted for him anyway. But anyway, Pecker goes on the stand and says, we got a bunch of crazy articles, crazy stories that we were paid to kill. We would catch it and kill it so that they wouldn't come out during his campaign. And that's illegal. That's illegal. Now, I don't know, you're going to have to try to prove... Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you. The Stormy payment was especially damning, coming right on the heels of the Access Hollywood tape. So those payments were considerably higher.
Yes.
Than the catch and kill normal kind of the Schwarzenegger kind of payoffs.
Yep. Well,
his hush money.
What he was paying to Cohen was double, because he was also paying him for for being silent, as well as paying off the person. Yeah, gigantic payments. So I'm not sure I'm not sure what does Pecker have to do with the payment to Stormy Daniels, though, or are they just bringing him on to show this is what he does?
How he'd been covering for Trump's other stories, like the doorman and even Karen McDougal.
Yeah.
And who knows what else, but he drew the line at Stormy. That's when they kicked it to this other guy, the Pharaoh guy, and the fake LLCs.
Ah, okay, got you. Listen, I'm glad you're keeping abreast of it, because
Cohen told Pecker that the boss would be very angry with him. The boss is going to be very angry with his Pecker if he doesn't.
It's okay. Bill Barr has an extra one for him. Bill Barr cut his off to give it to him. Don't worry about it. He's angry with his Pecker. So yeah, all right. Well,
Well, that's about it for that. And then the gag order hearing apparently is being kicked down the road till Thursday now. I mean, what the hell gives with that?
Man, I know so many people who are in prison for healing people with marijuana. And their trials were quick, fast. I know so many people, as I'm a Jamaican, who were deported for having letters wrong on a passport. That was done so fast. If you're rich, if you're an asshole, as a matter of fact, the worst kind of person you are, the better chance you have of making it in this country. It sounds defeatist.
Yeah, psychopaths, yep.
But what are we to learn from this? Why? How many times does he have to talk about your daughter, Judge? Why is there another hearing? How many times has he gagged? How many times has he taken the ball out of his mouth and stuffed it up the court's ass before they put him in jail? But they can't. They don't know how to. It's foreign to them.
Well, they're saying that Trump is saying less now outside the courtroom, and maybe these threats of potential jail, and that the Secret Service has been discussing how to handle him if he goes to jail and all this. Oh, that's bullshit. But, and also saying Merchan has a great handle on this court. He's moving things along. He's in control. I don't know. I'm way outside trying to read the tea leaves that they're being scattered around.
What I think is
most of it is just farts.
The bar is set so low. Listen, those guys will say anything, but I like Op Yop. I'll bet the courtrooms were cold for them too. I just saw that. TV2 Live. It's not that I haven't been looking. Not that I didn't want to say whatever you said. I just haven't been looking. I've been talking. But Lord, if you see what they said. But yeah. What about, it's too cold. I'm whining. I'm a super strong guy, but it's too cold. Oh, man. Get out of
He's like the three bears. Yeah, But and he's using his family out there. He goes out there and says, "Oh, I can't go to my son's graduation. Oh, happy birthday, Mel! I'm here at my hearing outside the courtroom."
Oh my
where
God.
Stormy Daniels, never mind.
Mel
didn't happen.
Mel is happy to get away from the stench.
They all are.
And Barron, that's his name, the kid.
Yeah.
Wait till he turns 18.
So he's an adult in some states, I guess.
Yeah, 18 is an adult in America. So, But I'll still give him. I don't know much about him, so I'm not just gonna make shit up. But I will say this: I know he hasn't seen him in years. So, I mean, get over this graduation crap.
There's a rumor that even Don Jr. isn't talking. They aren't talking.
Well, nobody's there.
His only hope is Laura and maybe Eric. Good luck.
Nobody's there. Nobody's there. His wife's not there. His kids aren't there. Grandma, grandpa, uncles, cousin, nephew. Not even his fans are there. And he wants us to believe that the police are shooing them away and the streets are empty. The only thing left on the New York streets by the courthouse is the trash that's always been there. That's it. That's it.
I heard Stephen Miller was there.
Oh my God!
The supporter is Stephen Miller.
Stephen Miller came there with his can of shoe shine as well, and then left the same day. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, no wonder he's falling asleep in court.
His Sharpie hair, dude.
There is nobody else there. He's all alone. And it does show that there is some support waning, or that kind of fervent support he used to have. But as far as the polls go, in the states that matter, he's still neck and neck, and that's just gross.
Yeah, well, it's the screwing around and it's the propaganda that's pushing that. I got some thoughts on all this stuff. And Lara Trump claiming they have poll watchers in 81 states.
What?
That are going to be physically handling these things. And I think people are fed up with that. I don't know. People are all worried and upset about this potential threat at the polling stations. But I think most people are fed up and they won't stand for that kind of bullshit going on.
Yeah,
they go to vote. I could be wrong.
No, I agree with you. I think most people who know what's going on. But I'm often reminded. There are just a number of. We are in the weeds. Most people just don't know, and it's those few numbers or those big numbers, whatever they are, on the margins or not, that make the difference. And watching at the polls, going inside and counting, they're trying to steal an election. They're trying to do the best they can to steal an election. And what's gross is that it's under the guise of election security. Mm-hmm. There's nothing you can trust with these people. And I just hope, I would just hope that the guardrails that are set hopefully hold. But you're 100% right. There's a reason why there were laws against people doing that, because at one point when black people first got their right to vote, these were the same tactics they used to stop our vote. And I would hate to see violence come out. On the other hand, maybe it's just because it's New York and there's not a lot of Trump supporters there, but it seems like those type of violent super fans have learned their lesson after January 6th and have all gone to jail, and he gave them nothing. So maybe we're overhyping it, but I'd rather be prepared than caught with my pants down. So you guys need to know that at least is going to happen, and at least is what they're planning. Whether or not it happens doesn't matter. We need to be prepared.
Right.
All right, what we got next?
Well, we want to talk about the big news of the week, the Arizona indictments. Oh.
Yeah, let's do it.
Meadows indicted again. Giuliani indicted again. So many. How many were there again? 11 plus 6?
I'll let you say it because I don't even know. When you told it to me, I heard also not only are they indicted, but all of the fake electors as well are also been indicted.
The brilliant bright lights who filmed their crimes again.
Oh,
what
God.
These people filming themselves being criminals. Honestly, that's a good. I question it. Like, why are they doing that? Just to prove to their God King again that they're with him?
Because they're stupid, Laura.
Sorry.
They're dumb. They're idiots. The reason why is because they don't think it's a crime. They're privileged. They're entitled. They're Karens. That's why.
That's right.
They believe that every single person who marched in Black Lives Matter marches should be dead. They rile and up what's his name, Rittenhouse, and think he should be a president or a congressperson. Meanwhile, them actually doing crimes, well, that's expected. Because they're white, Laura. Because they're white. Because they're Republican. Because they feel like, of course, when I do it, it's okay. They've never gotten real consequences. The only people who deserve the consequences are those darkies, okay? Are those dark people at the border. That's it. Those are the people who deserve consequences, not people like us, me and you, right? That's how they're thinking. And the reason why is because they're correct. Up until now, they haven't been indicted. That's why. And that's why nobody's at Trump's courthouse right now, is because if it wasn't for those people getting arrested and going to jail on January 6th, I promise you it would have been just another thing they do and believe that they shouldn't have gotten in trouble for. Now people are kind of backing off. Like, well, wait a minute. You telling me I can get in trouble now? They won't look the other way all of a sudden? They're looking at their skin, Laura, and going, am I black? What's going on? That's what they're saying to themselves right now.
Well, you have your Karen channel, and I've watched enough of them to know that that's the attitude. What, me? I can't be arrested.
That's it.
Take your hands off me, sir.
That is it. Listen, it always, my mom's old school Jamaican, man. My mom and dad. And they're so, like, they love this place, you know, to an extent. They see it for what it is as well. They realize it's just another country. They came here to have a better life, and they did. But they still have, like, this awe of the place that it was when they came. And whenever they see people like the nurse who called out Beyonce and said that she's not a country star because her grandparents were picking cotton, not the owners, or every time you see people go online and say this stuff, they're like, why would people do this? And I have to look at them and remind them and say, to us it's unthinkable because we have had consequences our whole life. To us it's unthinkable because we would be buried if we'd done some of the things that these people do. To them, they've always owned it. It's always been theirs. They grew up with it. Why did the rich guy crash the Benz? Well, because it was his daddy's. That's why. Because he grew up with it. It didn't seem weird to him to go 120 on the highway while drinking. Because he's always done it.
And the sheriff would look the other way.
Because he's always done it.
Or whatever. Yeah. Grift and corruption was the way things always ran.
So,
Yeah.
so that's why they taped themselves. Do you know who I am? P-dubs, I love it. Yeah, so that's why. But hey, now they're getting indicted. I'm down with that 125%.
And coming on top of that today is that Jenny Thomas is sucked into that whole mess too.
Oh, talk about it, please.
Something to grab her by her damn wig.
No, you can say it. You can say grab her by the jowls. That's what she's got.
Well, she's probably going to see a lot more of this with these indictments and fraudulent elector schemes, because she was all up in that.
Yeah. What did you say? 12 letters she sent or something like that before?
Let me grab it.
I mean, wow. To turn.
It was a pyramid or chain letter scheme where you send this link to 20 of your friends and they send it to 20 more, something or other. Yeah.
Wow.
I'll have to grab that. Hang on.
Yeah, I don't have it here. So, yeah, she sent these letters, and think about that, man. And now you're wondering why the right-leaning judges are even entertaining the idea of immunity in their court. Well, simply because one of them has a wife sharing letters about turning over the election illegally to the other guy. Right?
Yep, one or more of them is involved in all of that shit.
All of them are. Listen, You don't entertain that stuff. I know one thing about these justices and people in these places. They may not care about a lot, and they may think of themselves as gods or rulers, but they also are very attuned to their legacy. And they would not be doing this to their legacy, to their presumed legacy, if they didn't have something that they needed to make sure was going to make that legacy even worse. Like people realizing that they were okay with this dictator, that they were right on board with this dictator, that they were hired by this dictator to allow him to become one if they had the plan. If they had Project 2025 back then, every one of these judges that he appointed would have found a legal excuse to say, yes, let's do it. Every one of them. And so they're dying for a dictator too. Go ahead.
Yeah. She used the platform Free Roots. I never heard of this platform. What is it? Free Roots. What is it? It allows users to send pre-written emails to multiple officials at once to contact 20 members of the Arizona House and even 7 state senators, in addition to the 2 state House members. Thomas sent all the emails on the same day, November 9th, 2020. The emails encouraged the recipients to stand strong, and they have the power to choose Arizona's electors who vote in the Electoral College for president. Okay, they have the power to choose the electors who vote in the Electoral College for president.
Not the people. Not the people. Not the people. They have the power.
Yeah. Thomas tried once more to urge 22 state House members and 1 state senator to overturn the state's elections on December 13th, one day before the EC members were set to cast their votes. Yeah. Thomas's involvement in working to overturn the results in the presidential election has raised ethical questions over Clarence, who has taken part in rulings related to the election. No shit.
No shit.
Who has reached out to Ginny in the Supreme Court for comment?
You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, man.
The way that MSNBC is reporting this is so sickening and disgusting. The way that the mainstream media is doing this, as if they're not going to be hauled off into the same concentration camps that we are the minute that this guy gets elected. I find it almost unbelievable And the people who are out of the media will say things like, they all have a plan on how to placate the dictator when he comes. And it sounds like I'm making that up. I wanted to not believe that when I hear it. But there has to be. Listen, one more time before we move on to the next thing.
There is no immunity.
Listen to how they reported this.
The presidency would be completely hobbled.
Watch this.
I think that the Supreme Court has a very important argument before it today.
Mr. Trump hoping to persuade the justices to find him immune from federal charges. His lawyers arguing the office of the presidency would be completely hobbled without that protection.
Without presidential immunity from criminal prosecution, there can be no presidency as we know it.
The special counsel's office indicted Mr. Trump on conspiracy and obstruction charges last
year this, guys.
For his efforts to cling to power, accusing the likely GOP nominee of pressuring state officials to reverse the election results. Actions DOJ argues were for purely personal gain and cannot be shielded from prosecution.
There is no immunity.
Oh, no, not here. It's
coming.
In
the Constitution unless this court creates it today.
The conservatives expressing concern if future presidents have no immunity for actions taken while in the White House. That could open the door to recriminations between political rivals.
Will that not?
The conservatives of the court are wondering, are questioning.
They're all Susan Collins concerned.
People.
Maybe he's learned his lesson.
I mean, what do you say to that? The news station that's supposed to be the most left is telling you that the conservatives on the court are just questioning about, well, I wonder if you don't have immunity, then there may not be a thing. There may not be a presidency left. Instead of saying, and think of this now, that just maybe, instead of saying, the most corrupt judges proven by boat trips and houses whose wife also sent out chain mail to Arizona electioners to engineer an election that they knew wasn't real, also happened to say the same bullshit that would make everything they did okay. That's how you report that. Because the idea that there's no such thing as that immunity, if all of a sudden you didn't have immunity, means that before you would have had it. There has never been immunity.
Even this argument that Sauer made that, well, they have to be impeached and convicted and then maybe they can be charged. Well, how can you impeach a president if he's got immunity from crimes? Where would the crime occur for them to impeach?
Exactly. Because you can't arrest them while in office. So says our ridiculous DOJ memo. And then you can't arrest them after they're out of office. So I'll tell you what. Go ahead. I'll be giving Joe Biden a call. No problem. Say that they have immunity. I'll tell you what, because if you think I'm gonna sit back and let the cheese god be the dictator, I'll tell you what. And this may be controversial, but it shouldn't be. Because in fight or flight mode, would you rather Hitler or Biden? I'm going to go with the Biden. Hey, B, Mr. B, how many people do you need shot today? I mean, excuse me, not me, but what do you do? You're immune, right? Go ahead and cancel it. Oh, Trump won? Cancel it. No big deal. You're immune. And it's amazing to me that nobody else has brought this up has asked any of these so-called lawyers and said, so if Biden thinks that Trump is a threat to America, it's okay if he either has him killed or withdraws his nomination from the election. According to you, sir, it's okay if Biden does this, right? But because every single Democrat is so lip-dicked, one guy says, I'm going to be dictator for a day, and the crowd cheers. And everyone else is going, did you see what happened? We don't have those type of communication skills to bring up those type of real questions for some reason. But thank God we're here, Laura, because I'm going to bring that up. That's fine.
Well, you know what? People like us and Adam Mockler, a young man that's really impressive, has been saying how these mainstream media is like completely losing readership and viewership, and even the right-wing channels that popped up all over the place. And
oh yeah, they're dying.
They're all dropping down, large percentages, and more left-leaning channels or progressive ones are either
Midas Touch is on the rise.
Yeah,
There's something America News. Was some really cool guys on there.
Partly had to do with Facebook catching on to the feeding of the hate stories and hate channels.
Yep.
Yeah.
That too. Listen, we had more to talk about, but it's been an hour. What do you say we end with some more good stuff?
I think so, because the other topic that we have lined up is worth more than just a couple of minutes.
Gaza.
Protests. And TV2, it's really too bad you've been so busy with other things. I was considering doing a live stream of some of these protests, not protests, campus sit-ins, tent-ins. Try to multi-screen live stream that maybe on the weekend if there's anything going on that I can catch. And if TV2 is able to, that would be great. That's how we met over the Black Lives Matter protest summer. He was streaming a lot of that.
Awesome.
So
yeah. TV2. What do you say?
So that whole topic deserves more than a couple minutes.
Okay.
But the good news is Biden is killing it again. He was in New York, a surprise appearance in New York for the Howard Stern interview.
What? How come I didn't even know about that? I've been in the weeds too much.
No?
I didn't know.
Well, I guess he had a better reception than Trump did. Probably bigger crowds too.
Oh yeah,
presumably fewer farts.
Well,
and a warmer room to sit in for an hour where he could actually talk and respond.
Yeah, well, the difference is Biden still like rides a bike and jogs, so I'm sure cold weather doesn't hurt him as much as your boy over there who's dying from atrophy as he sits and eats hamburgers with extra ketchup all day. But wow, I didn't know. So he talked to.
Let me throw you the link of Howard Stern actually thanking Biden at the end of the interview. It's really good.
Okay, yeah, let's watch that real quick. Howard Stern. Thanks.
Maybe you can pull it up from your end. Howard Stern, Biden, end of interview, whatever today. So what else is he winning at? He's got more.
I want to thank you for doing this today. I want to thank you for your compassion.
Sorry,
the reason I'm so excited to talk to you was because I wanted to understand the tragedy in your life and how you dealt with it. And you're the kind of leader I love, because we're lucky to have you in the Oval Office and serving as the father of the country. Because if you're a good father to your family, which you are, I know you'd be a good father to the country. And I want to thank you for providing a calming influence, an organized administration post-COVID, getting that vaccine out. I remember what the world was like at that point, getting NATO, getting us to feel comfortable, standing up to Putin, the incredible large growth in the jobs, unemployment rate down. I'll give you your greatest hits. The lowest uninsured rate in history. 4 out of 5 Americans are covered for less than $10 a month. Knocking off a few ISIS leaders, cutting the emissions in half. I mean, you've always been an environmentalist. Even the marijuana reform laws, enough with sitting there and fighting that battle. Respect for Marriage Act. What the hell is with people with this gay stuff? Who cares if someone's gay? How is it affecting anybody? People in love, it's good, right? Love is good.
My dad said, we saw 2 men kissing one another in Rodney Square when I was going in to get a license. I looked at him and he said, Joey, it's simple. They love each other.
That's it. That's how I look at it.
You know who deserves credit? The American people are relentless. The American people are stepping up. Who are they vote for? They just never give up. We're the most unique country in the world. We really are.
We are, but I don't want to lose it.
We're not going to lose it, God willing.
Thank you for doing this.
Well, thanks for having me.
Mr. President. Look at me sitting with the president.
Look at me.
Wow. Yeah, powerful. Powerful, man.
Yeah.
Powerful.
And he also said he expects to debate Donald.
Oh, was that in here too? Did I stop it too early? Hold on.
No, before he not committed to whether he would, that it could happen. And I said, yeah, I expect to.
Yeah.
Donald's going, anywhere, anytime. You don't mean it, but I know you don't mean it, but I'll do it. Sure.
Yeah, like every fake bully and every liar in history, the guy who yells and raves and bigs up himself the most is always the weakest, scaredest.
Get me outside.
Yeah, piece of crap there is. And that's why he picks on other weaklings and calls and mocks Bill Barr after he humiliates himself for him because he sees, yep, the sphincter. It's the vacuum sphincter. Yeah!
Oh, yes. So,
calm down. At Darla Mars. Darla here?
There's some more.
My friend Darla. Y'all be careful. That's my friend Darla Mar, man. What did she say? Oh, she must have said something. Everybody mad at her now. I don't know what she did.
Calm down, folks. Calm down.
Hey. Oh, man. Well, she can take care of herself. She's fine.
Yeah, TV too. I feel the same way about
yes,
it.
Darla can take care of herself. She's fine. Everybody give each other a hug, man. We're out of here. Thank you so much for showing up, Darla. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. It really does.
Thank you, friends.
Thank you, friends. Thank you, TV2. Thank you, P-Dubs. Thank you, Poyo. Was that? Op Yop. Got it. Op Yop.
Share it around, folks.
Share it around, man. Lee Mickler. Leah?
Lee, yeah. He's been giving me some good support for my streaming channel. Thank you, Lee.
Awesome. All right. Well, listen, I think that's everybody. You guys are all awesome. And yeah, spread it around, man. We try to keep it real. We tell the truth. We might make some jokes, but every single joke is based in historical fact. Look it up. If you think we're lying, look it up.
I got some nuggets coming for shorts this weekend.
Oh yes, this weekend. Please stay. Listen, for some reason, all of Political Drain's biggest hits are behind them, except for the shorts that come out over the weekend from Laura. So yeah, please stay tuned for that. She's got some funny stuff coming.
Well, you edit me well.
I'll take that. I'll take my part in that. Right.
All right.
That's it, guys.
TGIF.
TGIF. Smoke one for your boy. Stay safe. Stay calm, and don't go too hard in the comment sections. But hey, tell your truth. Peace.
Peace.